Welcome to the Telescope Show. We laugh, we discover God, and we totally nerd out. My name is Matthew Seipel Anderson.
And I'm Katie Seipel Anderson.
Thanks so much for listening.
On this bright, sunny, and very cold day in Winona, Minnesota.
Oh yeah, it's proper winter weather today.
It is. There's like a wind chill advisory, and I was just waiting for them to cancel school, but they didn't, so.
You people in the Southland have no idea what you're missing.
It is very sunny and bright, though, and I've missed that, so that makes me happy. I'll just try to stay inside as much as I can today and look out at the bright, sunny weather. Speaking of school this morning, I was getting the kids ready for school, and they have like these, I'm brushing my 4-year-old's teeth, and they have this like toothpaste that's super
disgusting.
Well, I mean, it's like clear, and so it doesn't have like any.
It doesn't make your gums tingle.
It doesn't make your gum tingle. It tastes like, I think that it's like
cupcake.
Dragon Fizzle or something is what it's called.
Cupcake.
I don't know. Have you used it?
Gross.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't use that
I've
stuff.
totally used it.
Anyway, it made me think about toothpaste, and I'm like, my initial toothpaste were not like this. So then I just did a quick did you know on toothpaste, and Google, according to justfunfacts.com, apparently there's been a form of toothpaste believed to be started around 5,000 BC by the Egyptians.
Wow.
I don't know what that looked like. But it was before toothbrushes were invented. And then ancient Greeks and Romans were known to use it. And it was first used kind of more as toothpaste, I guess, in China and India around 500 BC.
Wow.
But here we didn't start really using it in mass until like the 1800s. And of course it looks a lot different. Some of the ingredients back in like the BC times were like crushed bones and I don't know, burnt toast, something like that. There's a whole bunch of different rock salt and pepper. They might have added some mint. Anyway.
That's amazing.
It's come a far way since then, but it was in 1880 that they manufactured toothpaste in a collapsible tube. But the tube was made from lead.
Oh! You
anyway.
know, we think the modern era is so much more advanced than some of these older civilizations. And then you learn things like that, and you're like, nope. Well, Katie, did you know that we've got some great space-based shows coming up in the near future? We've got Picard Season 3 dropping on Thursday, February 16th. And we've got The Mandalorian Season 3 kicking off on Wednesday, March 3rd.
So why was the first one dropping and the second one kicking off?
You know, I just needed a new verb to make the sentence
Because
spicy.
dropping kind of makes it seem like a splat, and kicking off is like, yeah, we're here.
That's a great question. Why do we use the words that we use? I feel great about these shows.
Both of them, even the one that drops?
Yeah, although I feel maybe less good. You know, maybe subconsciously I chose the word drops because the Picard show I think is going to be good, but I'm a little nervous for how heavily it leans on nostalgia for Next Generation.
I think that's a valid fear.
Yeah. But they have
or concern.
You know, for the Trekkies out there, you know this. They have set up a pretty interesting storyline with this Borg ship and the new Borg Queen, who was a former member of Picard's crew. And now there's this interesting relationship there. So, you know, Season 3 could be really cool. And, of course, everyone's looking forward to The Mandalorian. Although, The Mandalorian now has a very unpractical spaceship to fly around Baby Grogu with. And so, how's that going to work?
We'll find out.
I mean, his original ship was kind of like the minivan of spaceships, and that was, like, perfect. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how he handles it.
I'm just trying to remember the spaceship right now, so...
Yeah, the Razorback, it was like a big... It looked like those vans that are called cubes. You ever seen those vans? They say the cube on the back, and they literally look like a sugar cube on wheels.
Yep.
That's kind of like what his spaceship was.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess they'll fit Grogu.
Yeah. He could have adopted a few more Grogus and throw them in the back. Well, today we have a really fun...
Moving on.
Today we have a very, very fun interview for you. We were able to connect up with Dr. Baron Bell and Daniel Hancock.
Which Matt sometimes has a little bit of a hard time saying.
Because I knew someone with the last name Hathcock. But it is indeed Daniel Hancock, and they work with Terminus Media. And specifically, they're on a comic series that has been exploding called Dominion. Super cool. You can check it out at Terminus Media. But why are we telling you about it? Let's go to our conversation with Dr. Baron Bell and Daniel Hancock. You guys are going to be like, that was the worst interview I've ever been a part of.
Nah, I've been through some really bad ones.
Yep.
That's not
I've been
real
through
encouraging.
I've been through one that took the cake, actually.
Really?
Like I don't know if it'll ever be topped by anything. So
Is there a story you can share?
I don't feel like I need to name names, but they know who they are. Just put it that way.
Well, fair enough. Well, we'll see if on this interview we can top that story.
It goes smoothly.
Oh, great.
It's not
All
mine.
downhill from here,
Please
Daniel. All
Please
downhill
don't.
from here.
Yeah.
It seems like Terminus is in an exciting place. You guys are making some bold moves, taking some risks, and it sounds like the Dominion project has been kind of a hit for you guys. Is that accurate?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really kind of hit a lot of notes that are very popular right now, especially Dominion, for those who don't know, is our take on First Samuel in the Bible. And we call it Star Wars meets Narnia. And it's basically with, anthropomorphic characters and spaceships and gigantic robots. And it literally is adapting the story of the house of King Saul and its eventual demise and the eventual rise of King David. So everything that you love about stories like Star Wars or Dune or Harry Potter, Battlestar Galactica, just a lot of different things, Game of Thrones even, it's like that political intrigue, palace intrigue, all that stuff. It is a space opera. It literally is. I mean, so there are battles but there's also a lot of drama. We always say Dominion is about war, but it's also about family.
Okay.
So that's one of the things we love about it.
Well, it looks beautiful. We're looking at it right now. I've got it pulled up, and it is just, the artwork is stunning. And so when you say that you're retelling this Bible story, are you using the names and the places and some things like that from the Bible, or is it more fictionalized?
Daniel, you can go ahead and take that.
Yeah, we're doing. The interesting thing about this is we do have like the same names and locations, but of course, being that it's in space and the characters are completely redesigned, it's quite a bit different. Besides those two things, besides the location names and character names, which are probably the clearest link back to the biblical text, we also have some major tentpole moments, that we're making sure to hit along the way for the biblical storyline. But at the same time, we're also kind of diving deeper and expanding on moments throughout the story that don't really have a lot of time on the pages of the Bible. So we're going in between the lines, like what's going on between King Saul and his son and his wife, and, like what's happening there. And, and really expanding the world, of course, in the sci-fi sense, we've expanded the world, it's planet Bethlehem, and, we've got the En-Gedi systems coming up here soon. And, we've got all the stuff from the Bible is present. It's kind of there, but in a way you've never seen it before.
It's not a one-to-one interpretation. So for those Bible scholars out there, don't hate us, but it is it's heavily inspired. There are
more like Tolkien Lewis, C.S. Lewis, like that.
Yeah, that's what it
there
sounds
are
like.
moments.
That's awesome.
There are moments where we asterisk. You can find this, in this particular Bible verse, and we asterisk that. Okay. But you can definitely see that there are similarities, but then there are a lot of differences that we take creative license on.
Loosely inspired is our term we like to use.
There you go, loosely inspired.
Instead of based on or like, or something more rigid like that.
I mean, there's plenty of drama in those stories, so.
Daniel and I are like geeks. I mean, we are both bona fide nerds. and he'll tell you he's as much of a nerd as I am, and whether
Yep.
he admits it or not, he
Right.
is. And
Right.
so
I think that
but
the honor probably goes to you, Baron. You've just
the
been
honor
at
does
it
go.
longer than me.
It does go to me. Look at my beard, of course. But we the thing is, we want everyone, especially believers, to know that it is okay to be a geek. It's okay to have fandom. It's okay to be enjoying,
to have fun. Yeah.
Good movies, especially if they're not highly offensive. Of course, there's going to be a little things here and there, especially in the world, but you can enjoy it. You can, but we want to do our level best to eliminate those potentially objective things that a parent might have a problem with seeing a Marvel movie or Disney or whatever. So we're creating kind of like this alternative fandom where you can have a lot of that same stuff that you love in DC, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, all that. But as a parent with kids who have very sensitive minds, you do want to be able to curate their fandom. And you should look at the comic books that they're reading. You should look at the movies that they're watching. You should. But at Terminus, we're doing a lot of that stuff ahead of time, so you don't have to worry so much about that.
Right. And in addition to the Bible, the moments throughout the biblical text that we're tying into, because you're going to get some significant things that happen, like David and Goliath, is coming in the story and so on. But in addition to that, we also are allowing the Proverbs and the Psalms and such to kind of the principles of our biblical worldview are woven into the story as well, into the extra biblical parts of it. The fictional parts that we're expanding on, you can feel it through the fabric of the whole thing. So for kids, I have 4 young kids, they enjoy this, but they also enjoy looking at my kids who are Christians and follow their own Bible study and such. They're pointing out the details. I know where that's from and I know where this is from, but they're also just more subtly, I would say, learning the principles of the Psalms and the Proverbs and just that kind of godly worldview as well. So good stuff.
Very cool.
And that's not to say that this is kind of like it's so overly Christian that people who are not Christian can't get it. I have a twin brother who is an avowed atheist, and he loves Dominion because we lead first with good story. We lead first with good characterization. So it literally could be a Games of Thrones-ish type story, but without all that mess that it
Right.
brings. That's why we have a whole crossover audience that really loves our product.
And like you said, there's a lot of
love
drama inherent in those old Bible stories anyways, right, Katie?
Yeah.
It's already there, so
it's there. Yeah.
So we're able to play off of that and really create something that's fun, unique. And yeah, it is subtle. I would say, like, when you watch Lord of the Rings movies or read the books, you don't walk away going, oh, there was a message I had, a Christian sermon stuffed down my throat through that. Not at all, and that's kind of where we try to aim for as well. It's not in that sense that we're weaving in our biblical stuff, and all that. It's more just peripheral, and the story definitely does come first. I think we're striking a nice tone too. It's been a bit of a challenge, but we're continually working at being able to capture some of the drama, some of the intensity of those Bible stories without the graphic violence, for instance. Yeah. And so the sci-fi twist helps us with that a bit. Mm-hmm. Like my daughter was just commenting as we were plotting, Baron, she overheard us talking earlier, Baron, when we were plotting out some stuff for Goliath. Nobody knows about Goliath yet. You guys are the first ones we're talking about. No, but and she was like, yes. Oh, so it's, it won't be quite as, with the way that we're doing it with the technology and such. She's like, it won't really be like, she was like, I wondered how you were going to do that with the cutting off of Goliath's head. This is my 11-year-old, because we have bloodless violence. This doesn't have anything like that in it. We don't have anything like that. Yep. But we find creative ways around that. So you still get all the intensity and all the epicness of it, but without the offensive bits that might be difficult for young kids. And yeah, definitely little kids tend to love it because of the cool characters. I mean, this is like Disney sci-fi epicness kind of a look when you look at it, so they just like the character designs and the colors and all the cool ships and stuff. And then kids who are a bit older are starting to pick up on the double meanings and the things going on behind the scenes and the parents and the kids and the, like the learning about it. And then definitely like I always talk about Shakespeare writing for the peasants with the sword fights, and then for the upper class with the political intrigue in the same play. It's like you can do both if you play it right, and so we're trying our best to do that, where it's still engaging for adult readers. You definitely wouldn't be bored reading this. I mean, it's going to get more and more complex as the story goes on, but the kids won't mind that. That stuff might go over their heads, but they're enjoying the other part of it.
And we're back. Thank you so much, Dr. Barron and Daniel, for taking time to hang out with us. What did you think of the conversation?
It was fun, and I'm really excited to do another one.
Absolutely.
When they're ready to finish up that series.
We definitely could have talked to them for twice as long as we did, and we could tell the passion for the work.
Which is exciting. It makes me interested in it, too, when someone's passionate about their work.
Yeah, so head over to terminusmedia.com. You can find all of our past episodes at thetelescopeshow.com. We'd love to connect with you through Facebook and other social media, so check that all out. And don't forget to subscribe to this show and tell a friend, tell two friends. All right, love y'all. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.